is Jason Oliver. I'm head brewer at Backbone Brewing Company. We're a brewery in Central Virginia, which is on the east coast of the United States. We started off our operation 4 years ago with a brewery restaurant and then opened up a production brewery 1 year ago. I'm here in Australia on a collaboration with Thunder Road Brewing Company.
The name of the game's collaboration. We're going to do two different styles of collaboration. One of them's designed to effectively make a series of unique beers with hops as the signatures. Then we're also looking at doing something kind of a little bit different where we rebirth some historical brands that are native to this part of the world.
For myself as a brewer to come from the United States and visit Australia and really see how the craft beer, the small scale brewing is done in this country, and to share what I know and to learn what is going on here. I think it's really fascinating to see the similarities but also the differences.
Jason's obviously come a long way to be here. I think he's appreciating the beer culture that we have here at Thunder Road. It's turning out to be a really good mix. The chemistries may be unique. Both of us fortunately speaking the same language, so communication becomes very easy, and both of us having strong passion for beer, both new styles and also the older style stuff.
Now, we've been preparing ourselves for the last couple of weeks, and we've been investigating different varieties of hops, different types of Australian malt that will be put together with both Australian and American hop varieties, as well as some unique European varieties.
There's also a unique opportunity to brew not just one beer, but a whole handful of different beers, 10 different beers, and also an opportunity to really see a couple beers through from start to finish. So I get to taste some of these beers. That's even the best part about it.
But one thing's for sure, you won't find these beers have ever been brewed before. These are special beers that you're actually going to enjoy, whether they're here at Thunder Road or in the near future at Devil's Backbone Brewing Company.
The main theme of the collaboration is some aroma-driven beers, specifically pale ales, based around 3 different approaches. One is the American approach, the American pale ale. The second is the Australian approach, the Australian pale ale, taking the influences and inspiration from the home country here. And then the third is pretty interesting, and that's the international pale ale from Australia and the United States.
Once again, it'll be using the Victorian Australian malts as the backbone. But we've got our hands on some really new hop varieties, very aromatic hop varieties, very flavoursome hop varieties. From a brewing point of view, it's a great way that we can mesh together, in this instance, Australian and American ingredients, laying down the backbone of the product, no pun intended, with Australian malts and peppering them with some aromatic and flavoursome American hop varieties.
It's exactly like if you're making a beautiful food. We want to make high quality beers and consistent beers with the best produce. So that's what our philosophy is all about. Laboratory works very well with production. We have a very close interaction to make sure that we're providing all the information at a very scientific level so that we can monitor the process at an intimate level and along the processes for both brewing as well as fermentation. Very important that we keep close eye on the entire process. And laboratory provides critical support for the in-process monitoring as well as the finished product testing.
One of the things we're really looking to bring to the Australian market, and it's one of the things that Jason can offer with his lofty experience, is you get that glass of beer under your nose and it's just an explosion of beautiful hop aroma. We're looking for that to run in to the flavour and then to just really feel like a good value beer, like you're getting what you paid for, and it's quite an experience. What we're going to do that's going to make each of them different but set them up as a set of beers is to have the hops basically telling the story and the hops offering the variation between the beers. So ideally you'd be able to sit down, drink all 3 beers at the same time and have a look at the little subtle nuances and maybe some more aggressive flavours that come through in each of them. More citrusy, more piney American hops. Then we'll be moving ahead with the more subtle but still quite aromatic Australian hops. Then in the third beer we're going to put both of those in and use some Czech hops as well. So you get a really good idea of what hops do to beer.
But one aspect about beer and brewing that I really like is that it has a rich history. It evolved from different origins, whether it's English, German, Belgian, or Czech, and then kind of spread out across the world. And every country has its own heritage.
We've gone backwards through the historical files of Melbourne, Victorian, Australian brewing. We've dug up some relics that haven't been made for 100, 150 years. And we're piecing those back together on our small-scale pilot brewery to try and hopefully recreate some of those old flavours.
One of the great things about this collaboration is that both our companies have a complete and absolute obsession for freshness and quality. But on top of that, we're also very fascinated with the history of brewing in either country. It doesn't make a difference. What we like to do is look back at history, learn from it, and then take that into the future.
In terms of research, in terms of resources, you know, we actually found that one of the beers we'll be recreating, rebirthing, the only record of it was found in the States, in America. So that's a really nice tie-in between us, Thunder Road, and Devil's Backbone.
And we're very excited that we'll actually be introducing a couple of recently discovered brews that were discovered in America but reflect the history of Australian brewing. So more about that later.